Today, we have seen a continuation at the International Court of Justice. Israel has called on the ICJ to reject the case brought by South Africa alleging that it's committing genocide in Gaza. On the second and final day of hearings at the UN's highest court, Israel's Foreign Ministry advisor, Tal Becker, said South Africa had presented a profoundly distorted factual and legal picture.
The applicant has regrettably put before the court a profoundly distorted factual and legal picture. The entirety of its case hinges on a deliberately curated, decontextualized, and manipulative description of the reality of current hostilities. South Africa purports to come to this court in the lofty position of a guardian of the interest of humanity. But in delegitimizing Israel's 75-year existence in its opening presentation yesterday, that broad commitment to humanity rang hollow. And in its sweeping counter-factual description of the Israeli-Palestinian conflict, it seemed to erase both Jewish history and any Palestinian agency or responsibility.
Well, it's the second day of this landmark case, which began yesterday with South Africa presenting its argument. Let's listen back to yesterday's closing statement from the lawyer representing their legal team.
The international community continues to fail the Palestinian people, despite the overt, dehumanizing, genocidal rhetoric by Israeli governmental and military officials, matched by the Israeli army's actions on the ground. Despite the horror of the genocide against the Palestinian people being live-streamed from Gaza to our mobile phones, computers and television screens, the first genocide in history where its victims are broadcasting their own destruction in real time in the desperate, so far vain hope that the world might do something.
Let's cross live now and speak to our correspondent, Anna Holligan, who is in The Hague. And Anna, just bring us up to date with what we've been hearing from both sides, please.
Those powerful statements really give you a sense of just how much the ICJ is a legal battleground for all of this. So today we heard from Israel. They accused South Africa of weaponizing and trivializing the Genocide Convention, pointed out that Israel was one of the first signatories and said that Israel was responding in self-defense under international humanitarian law to attacks by Hamas gunmen. They said those attacks, the atrocities committed by Hamas on the 7th of October, constituted the biggest calculated mass murder of Jews since the Holocaust. You might be able to see behind me now, the court hearing has just ended. So yesterday, South Africa had 3 hours. Today, Israel had 3 hours. That's it now in terms of the interim measures hearings. The judges will now go away and deliberate, look at what both sides have said. South Africa, of course, accusing Israel of genocide. Judges have to work out whether or not there is a plausible reason to believe that there could be a risk of genocide in order to rule in favour of South Africa. And why this matters, this court doesn't have any powers of enforcement. And if a judgment, though, goes against Israel and Israel ignores an order from the judges here to cease military hostilities, as South Africa has requested, then it will make it very difficult for countries like the UK and the US to continue to support Israel. And we are expecting a decision on this within weeks.
Anna, thank you very much indeed. Anna Holligan there, our correspondent outside The Hague. Of course, if you want to read more about what happened yesterday and today at the ICJ, do go to the BBC website. Lots of stories there on this story.